Hey guys, today in this video, I'm going to show you how to get more appointments from your opt-ins, whether that's B2B or any kind of organic opt-ins you're getting. I'm going to show you a really cool way to get way more booked appointments from them. So I was honestly a little bit worried about sharing this tip because the more people that know how this works, the less effective it's going to be. And I want to use it for myself. And so I'm a little bit nervous, but you know, I think the best thing to do is share it with the community, share it with you guys, and yeah, just everyone can benefit in the best way possible. So let me explain how this is going to work. So the system we're going to be using is with Loom. Okay, I'm very sure if you're watching this video, every single person knows what Loom is. The cool thing about Loom is they've brought out a new feature very recently, which you may have not noticed, which allows you to actually personalize videos with AI, right? So if I quickly come out of this and go to Loom, I've got this video here, just did a really quick test one earlier to show you guys how it would work, right? And if you scroll on the right hand side, you'll see that we've got this bit here called add an audio variable, right? I'll show you exactly how we use this in a second, but for now, the cool thing what it can do is it can identify when you're using a name in a video, and it can replace the name with a different name depending on whatever you tell it, right? So this way we can make videos that seem personalized, but they're actually evergreen, but we just change the name out with the AI, and it's been working incredibly. And so far it's been incredible. So let me jump back to my whiteboard and I'm gonna explain how the system's gonna work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have the opt-in, okay? As we usually do, right? That, like I said, that could be B2B, it could be organic, it could be, you know, however you want to do it. It doesn't matter, right? Then what we do is we wait 30 minutes to see if the person self-books. Obviously, if you're collecting the phone numbers or things like that, you're better off just phoning them within 5 minutes. That's always the better way of doing it, right? But this can work if you try to phone them and you can't get through to them, or there's some other thing, or maybe just not collecting the phone number, you're only collecting the emails like what we do. In that situation, then we want to wait 30 minutes to see if they self-book. And also we want this to come across genuinely personalized. So if we started sending this like within 2 minutes of them coming through or something like that, it doesn't look real. It looks like it's just automated. So I want it to look like that I've actually seen their opt-in and just genuinely made them a quick video like, hey man, blah, 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 blah. And that way then it can just seem a lot more real and people will respond. People will always respond to someone that they think have personally reached out to them. If it's just like a bot or it's like some obvious like cold email or something like that, then people just rarely respond because it's so impersonal. But if you've got a personalized loom that they think you've actually just filmed and sent to them, even if they're telling you, hey, I'm not interested, they're still going to probably respond to you because most people are polite, and if they feel like you've done something for them, they're going to do something back for you. So opt in, wait 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, what we do is we send them one of these personalized looms, right? So I have personalized loom. This is done via a VA. So you're going to have a virtual assistant that's actually going to go in and send this to them via your email. And in this personalized loom, we also have a link to your Calendly, your booking page, whatever it is. I'll just put calendar link. And that way then when they're watching the loom, they can literally just click on it and then go straight to your calendar, and then bam, they can book an appointment with you. And like I said, this is done via a VA. You don't have to send this, your VA sends it, and it'll work just the same. So this is a very basic strategy of how it works. Now I'm going to show you step by step how to build it all out so you can start getting way more booked appointments, and you could even potentially do this for your own clients as well if you follow the system and adapt it slightly. So let's jump in. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to your Go High Level account, okay? So inside here, you're going to want to create a workflow that triggers when a lead is generated, okay? So I'm literally just going to go here and create a new workflow. So for me, it's when a form is filled out. So I'm going to type in here form, and I've got form submitted, and I'm going to do form is, and then have mine's my CCM ads funnel V7 pop-up form or the opt-in form. Either of these I want it to trigger, right? So I'm just going to select both of these. You might have a Facebook lead form. You might have, I don't know, whatever your trigger is for a lead to be generated, use that, okay? From there, I'm then going to have a wait for 30 minutes. I'm going to put wait 30 minutes, and I'm going to put a wait here for 30 minutes. Save action. From here, I'm now going to have a webhook. So you guys can use the Slack. So you've got the special, if I type in Slack, you can do direct to Slack if you want to, right? I like to use webhooks. I like to send it to Make first, and I'll show you how to do this because that way it's, first of all, it's cheaper. We are not using the special Go High Level actions. And also I like to have the separation between Go High Level and Slack and see it all through Make, because as we all know, Go High Level isn't always the most reliable. And if there's like a bug or something goes wrong, I want to be able to see the clear breakdown of the steps rather than just Go High Level try and tell me what it thinks happened, and it's very messy. I'm just going to go here, webhook, and now it's asking for the webhook name here, and I'll put that in a second. So for now, I'm just going to put in www.test.com just so I can save the space like that, and that's it. And I'm just going to call this new lead in send loom system, something like that, right? And I'm just going to save that. Now what I'm going to want to do is set it up so if someone does already book an appointment on their own, right, because the way my funnel works is that I have the lead opt-in and they can then book an appointment if they want to, right? If that happens, I don't want them to get any loom at all because I've already booked the appointment. So then what I'm going to do is create a workflow, and in this one, it's going to be when an appointment is booked. So I'm going to put appointment status, add filter, appointment status is confirmed, and appointment is in, I'm going to put in calendar group for mine actually. I'm going to put inside the calendar group, and I've got a round robin calendar group. There we go. So that means that any appointment that's booked within any of the calendars inside that group, it's going to trigger this, which is what I want, because they might come through, they might not book through my ads link. A lot of people will submit their information, but then they find out my organic link after they book in. So I want any booked appointment that comes through within my sales team's calendars, I want it to trigger. So I'll save that there. Then what I'm going to do is literally just have a workflow that says remove from workflow, and the workflow is going to be another workflow, and the workflow is going to be the one I just created, which is new lead in send loom system. And I'm just going to put in here remove from, I like to be organized in my workflows, makes it a lot easier later down the line, send loom system. A few too many, I'll just put here WF for workflow. Awesome, cool. So now what's going to happen is if an appointment is booked in and it's within that 30 minutes, it's going to remove it from the other one that we just created, right? That's why we put the 30-minute wait in there to give them a chance to book in. If, so let's say 20 minutes in, they decide to put themselves in for an appointment, it will then remove them from the other workflow we just created, and therefore the webhook won't be sent and they won't be sent the loom. How that makes sense. So now here, I'm just going to put here appointment booked, remove from loom system. Save that, publish, save. There we go. Awesome. Right, cool. And if you want to be really organized, you can create another folder, right? You can call it like loom system or something like that if you want to, and then you can just have them in the other folder. I'll create that afterwards. I won't bore you guys with me organizing my folders. So that's all that is there, right? So now what we want to do is we want to go to make. So if I go to make, I'm now going to want to create a new scenario. And this can be done in Zapier as well, by the way. This can be done in Zapier, make. It's all very, very similar. If you haven't used make and you want to use make, I'll put a normal link and my affiliate link down below if you don't mind using that. But if you don't want to use it, I'll put the normal link down below as well. Not an issue. And then in here, I want to have webhook. So in Zapier, it'll be very similar. It'll be like webhook received or something like that. Custom webhook is what I want. Then I want to choose a hook. So now I want to create a new webhook, right? So for anyone that doesn't understand, a webhook is essentially and I'm not a developer, by the way, so this is probably a very, very poor explanation. Apologies to any developers that are watching this. Essentially, it's a way to like connect different apps together. If you go to one app, you can get a URL that it basically listens to information being sent to. So then if you've got another app, you can send, it's called a payload. It's basically a group of information. You can send information to a certain URL, and that URL is linked to the other app, which is listening for the information. It's very, very simple. It's literally just sending like a package between apps. You can do it through webhooks, right? So I'm just gonna put here Slack loom webhook because we're sending the information to Slack and it's the loom system. I could call it like Slack loom system webhook if I want it to be a bit more precise. Click save for that. And now that's going to give me this webhook here, right? So what this is doing here is it's saying, hey, this URL, any information that gets sent to it, we're going to listen to it and push it into here for you, right? So I can copy that. I can go back to here. And now with this new lead in bit, I can now put that webhook in here. Right, so now whenever this gets triggered, it's going to send the information to this webhook, and in turn, this will be listening to it all the time, and it will pull that information in when it's sent to it. So if I click save action there, I'm going to publish this quickly, save, I mean. So now what I want to do is I want to do a test. I want to be able to send some test information to this webhook so it can listen to it and we can start gathering the data and organizing it in a certain way. So all I'm going to do is go to here, I can click test workflow, and I'll just put in like test here, just one here, and then click run test. And that is now going to hopefully be picked up via this webhook here. You usually expect this to come through, but obviously we've got the 30-minute wait here, right? So all I'm going to do is click on the test lead, and I want to push this, move all to the next step. So now it's going to get pushed to this webhook, and what should happen now is this should pick up on the information I've just sent it. There you go, boom, awesome, cool. So that's come through. So now we've basically told the webhook, hey, this is the information that I want you to listen out for and just use it to determine the data structure and how it's going to be received, basically, right? So now we've got that and that's working. Now we can add here a Slack module. Again, it's all the same thing as Zapier. I'm going to do a Slack, I'm going to do create a message. So what I've done in my Slack is I have created a channel called Send Loom System. So I'm going to go to private channel, and I've got a channel called Send Loom System, like that. So now what I'm doing is I'm saying when you receive this webhook, I want you to send a message to the Send Loom System channel. And in that channel is where I've got my VA working to send the looms, okay? So what text do we want to write? Okay, well, the text I want to write is new loom to needs sending, something like that, just so the team are very clear on what it is that needs to be done. And I'm going to put the name of the lead. So I'll put first name. And then for the first name, it will literally just be, if I go to this webhook, so I've got all the information here as we pulled in a second ago, right? So I just want to find first name. So I'm going to put first name like that, first name. Cool. I put little asterisks around things because it makes it bold in Slack, which is always a bit easier to read. So I'm going to put first name, and then I'm going to put email like this. And then here, I'm just going to find the email. So the email is, there we go, boom. So new loom needs sending, first name, email, right? I then like to put an SOP. So I put, for example, like SOP to be followed. And I put link to the SOP there, link to SOP. I'll build the SOP out later, just explain how it needs to be done. And then what I usually like to put is once the SOP has been followed, please mark this message with a check mark, and I'll usually put a quick check mark like this just to show them exactly what I mean with a check mark, and write a message as a thread confirming the day and time, the date, time the loom was sent. That way then you can very easily see the date and the time when it came in. You can see that it's been done, and then you can start to analyze and see if there's any kind of problem. So for example, if your team are taking 2 days to send a loom, then you know something's wrong there, right? So you can just keep an eye on it and make sure everyone's doing their job properly. So that's what I'm going to put in like that. Like I said, this link to SOP, you want to create the SOP based on this video. If you want to, you can literally see how I do it, and then you can just copy that in, and then you're good to go. But I like to have like a step-by-step process, like literally like screenshots, everything. Imagine if like someone's grandma was having to follow this, right? It should be so simple and so easy to follow, everything broken down step by step, that even someone that has no experience with any of this stuff can still follow the steps and send the loom very easily. That's all it's going to be. Literally, that's all we're going to do, just like that. That way then, like I said, every lead is now going to get the loom. So just to clarify where we've got to so far, okay? When a new lead comes in with the forms being submitted or whatever your trigger is, right? It's going to wait 30 minutes. If this 30 minutes time lapses and it hasn't been removed, so this lead hasn't been removed from the workflow, right? Then we know that I haven't booked an appointment yet. We want to send a webhook to make, right? Which will get picked up in here. And I'm just going to rename this actually to be called, I'll call it new lead in, send loom message to Slack, something like that. So that comes in, the webhook comes in as received. It then sends that notification to Slack, right? Which is in the following message. And then when the VA receives that message, they will then be able to go in and actually send the loom. When they get this message, what should this SOP actually show? What are we actually doing after this stage? If you want to give your team access to your loom, then obviously feel free to do that. If you want to create them a brand new loom account, you can also do that. It's completely up to you how you want to do it, right? But this is basically what we want to do. You want to go to loom, and I'll just do like a brand new video just to show you how it works, right? So for you guys, you're literally going to want to create a new video, right? So you put new video, I'll just put record a video, and you want to make sure you've got yourself like this here, right? And then from here, I'm literally just going to film a video. So I'm going to do something like this. Hey, Jacob, hope you're all good, man. Making a really quick loom, just because I saw you came in through my funnel. You put your name and your email. That's how I know who you are in your email. But you didn't book a call with my sales team yet. So I was having a quick look at your website, and I'm extremely confident Call Center Mastery is going to help you, right? So we're able to help fix all your ISA headaches, anything when it comes to training, recruiting, all the systems, all the reporting, making sure that you can level up your agency to just get way better results for your clients. So, or even yourself, your own ads as well, right? So yeah, Jacob, if you're watching this and hopefully you're watching this, click the link above, like it should be on my top right, and you'll be able to get access to the calendar, be able to book in a call. And yeah, I'm super confident we can help you. So I want to just reach out personally and just send you a quick loom just to say, hey, and hopefully we can get you to book a call. So yeah, any questions, just email me back and I'll be happy to help. Yeah, hopefully we'll speak to you soon, man. Cheers. So that's literally it, right? So I'm speaking pretty fast, but we want to keep it less than a minute. You want to make it a really spontaneous and just like off the cuff, right? It's just like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Once it loads, give it a second, right? The Loom AI is going to kick in, and you'll have this add an audio variable, right? So when I click on this button here, you'll see that it says, hey, Jacob, right? So it knows, select a word to create a variable. Well, I want the word Jacob, right? So you see how I use the name Jacob twice in the video, right? It will now let me change and add a variable. So for example, I can then change this to be quick loom for, and I'm going to put in the name, right? So quick loom for name. Click next, and I can put in the names here, right? So for example, let's say the person I'm sending this to is called James. I can put James in here and then click add. And then what it will do is it will change me saying Jacob to James. And I can click create one loom. And I'll actually put this loom below as well, so you can give it a watch and hear how it sounds, right? So then I've got the quick loom for Jacob, but then I've also got the quick loom for James. So now what I've got to do is copy this link, and I can send it to the lead, and then they'll think I've made them a personalized loom. Obviously, it's going to increase the booking rate, right? So the other thing I can do is I can just add more and more to these. So I can click add more recipients, sorry. And then I can do another one. I can do, right, I want to do one now for Luke. And I can type in Luke, click add one loom, and then it's going to create one, as it's doing it here, generating videos, one remaining. It's going to create one for Luke, right? Which is, it's just incredible how this works now. So how this works is when your team are doing it, right, is what they want to do is they want to log into your loom, and they want to find the folder for whatever it's called, right? So my one's called quick loom for name. So literally all they've got to do is log into your loom, they click on this, they click add more recipients, literally as I just showed you, right? Click add more recipients. They put in the guy's name. So again, maybe I'll put in here like, I don't know, I'll put Darren. Click add one loom. And then all they got to do is log into your email. So for me, my email, I won't tell you what my email is actually, but what I'm going to do is I make a slightly different variation of my own personal email, right? So I've got my personal email, and then I'll add a slight variation, maybe add a letter at the end of it, or put my last name, or no, whatever I'm going to do. I'm going to put something around something slightly different in my email, and then give my team access to that, right? My team are then able to log into that email. They can do what I've just done here, and they can literally go to here, copy this link. They go to the email and they type in something like, hey James, saw you submit some information, want to make you a quick personalized loom. Copy the loom in there, right? And you can call for the subject, you can put whatever you want, something that's maybe even like no subject, right? That's a lot of time what I do. Because if I get a no subject from someone, I don't think it's a cold email. If it's no subject, I think it's probably someone I know or a friend or something. So I like to put no subject as the email title, the email subject line. And then we send that off, and obviously people naturally put more calls. The other thing you want to be careful of, right, is you want to make sure you actually adjust this loom to include the link to your calendar like you said you would, right? So if I just click into the original actually again, so make sure on edit, click add a link, then here you can put in the button text, right? So I can put, for example, book a call now, or something like that, right? You know, you can, depending on your niche, depending on how you do it, you can put in here whatever you want. So it's going to attract the attention, right? Button link, you can put in your, you want to put in your Calendly or Go High Level link, or whatever it is. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a separate calendar link just for this loom system, so I can see how many booked appointments come directly from this loom system, right? That way then you can track it and you can see how much of an impact just this loom system alone is helping your conversions with your ads or your opt-ins or whatever you're doing, right? Where you want the button location, you can have it bottom right, top right, wherever you want to do it. But the color of it, you can change that, the text color, and then you can change the actual style of it as well. And you can put set default link. When you set default link, it's now gonna save that. Now you've got this book a call thing in the top right hand all the time. If I go back to Loom again, and I go to the quick loom again, go into here, and now I do add more recipients, and I'll do another one now. I'll put the name as something like Adam, add one loom. Now that loom for Adam will have, it's already got the book a call thing in there. So do that on the default one, and that means every single loom you create in future will have that in the top right hand corner. You're good to go. And that's literally the whole system. So all you got to do now is create the SOP and have it so every single time one of their messages comes in, your VA just needs to be aware, they need to get notified on Slack, and just all they got to do is as soon as they see it, they just go into your email, they follow this exact same system, create an email and send it from your new email inbox that they can have access to, send it there. And also you've got to make sure you monitor it, right? If someone replies to you or things like that, you've got to make sure you've got someone monitoring that email inbox so you can make sure you answer to any responses, because the last thing you want is sending something like this to someone, them responding to you via email and you ignoring them, because they think you've actually sent this, right? So if you ignore them, like you haven't got someone watching it, it's going to be horrible. They literally just think they're not important enough to you. It's going to ruin your chances of trying to get a book call from them. So you definitely need to make sure you've got someone replying, checking it, and emailing people back if they have any questions. So I hope that all makes sense. If you've got any questions, write them down below. Like I said, I was a little bit nervous about releasing this one because the more people that use it, the less effective it's going to be. But I'm excited. Like, go use it, see how it works. If you like content like this, obviously like, subscribe, write down below if you've got any questions, like I said, and I can make more stuff like this if you guys like it. So just let me know. And yeah, awesome. Go give it a go. Let me know how you get on. Appreciate you guys. Cheers.